Hey, welcome back. This is Keith from RisingStronger.com. In this video, we're going to talk about 17 nutrients that are critical for improving and optimizing mental health. Okay, so we're going to talk about nutrients, and I like to frame nutrients as the building blocks for, our brain and body to function properly and optimally. So what I'm going to do is just go through this list of 17 nutrients that are, shown to play a role in brain function and help with various things that contribute to or without can take away from or, negatively impact our mental health. And I'll describe in what I believe in all of these will be layman's terms, how I worded them, why they're relevant for mental health, each nutrient. And this is hopefully useful, not just in the sense that you might get a better idea of, what to look out for and what might be helpful for you, in terms of what you can, eat, nutrients to supplement with potentially. And please understand, none of this is medical advice, but it also highlights, the understanding that mental health isn't just mental and that it's not just something being, necessarily crisscrossed in our brain that we can't control. And a lot of the mental health issues that we see today, and this can be backed, I've seen it in people who struggle with, various symptoms and disorders, having blood tests that show correlating nutrients being low or other, blood markers being high that are associated with whatever symptoms they're experiencing or disorder, they might have been diagnosed with. So this kind of thing can help to expand the way we see mental health in understanding that, our lifestyle, what we eat, what we do, all of this is important to both recovering when we're not where we want to be and maybe optimizing just to having, better mental health, better brain function. And I don't want this to be like a, bait and switch type of thing. So I'm going to say upfront here, and then I'll say it again. I have a guide on my website, RisingStronger.com, with what I call high mileage foods. And that, if you want to check it out, is going to have a lot of the foods that you can get these nutrients from, as well as a list of foods that it'll actually have a list of foods that you can get all of these nutrients from that I think are the best to support better mental health. And then it'll have a list as well of the foods that are, least conducive to mental health and can contribute to causing or underlying mental health issues. So when it comes to nutrients too, one last thing before I read these, what's important to understand is nutrient deficiencies can contribute to very significantly or even be the underlying cause to mental health issues, to anxiety, depression, ADHD, overthinking, racing mind, things like that. So while these might just seem like complementary, at times maybe they are, but there are certainly cases, and it definitely can be, the root cause that, to mental health issues that were low or deficient in certain nutrients. So the first one is selenium, and selenium supports positive mood. Deficiencies are linked to brain fog, depression, fatigue. The second one is magnesium. Magnesium supports memory, focus, mood, sleep, a healthy stress response, helps to balance blood sugar, which plays a key role in our mental health, and is shown to potentially play a role in over 3,000 processes in the brain and body. So very important. And magnesium not only helps to buffer stress, but we burn through magnesium the more stress that we face. So it's very important in the modern world, and it's low in most people. Statistically, I think about 90 to 95% of people. The third one is zinc. Zinc buffers stress as well, supports concentration and attention, combats depression, and helps to balance blood sugar. The next is vitamin A. Vitamin A plays a role in cognitive function, neuroplasticity, and neurogenesis. If you don't know what those mean, you can look them up. I'm not going to, I could say in like a butchered way what they are, but you'd be better off neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, just Googling them. Vitamin D. Deficiencies in vitamin D are linked to depression, anxiety, memory, and mood issues. And I've even seen things for low vitamin D being a marker for bipolar as well. Vitamin E plays a role in nervous system health, aids in a healthy stress response. Deficiencies are associated with symptoms of anxiety and depression. The next one is vitamin K. Vitamin K is important for nervous system health, which is, our brain is part of our nervous system, and cognitive function. The next one is cholesterol. Cholesterol has been so demonized in our world, but it is so critically important. And low cholesterol, as a result of a lot of people, being put on medications to lower cholesterol. Low cholesterol contributes to a lot of, damaging. Well, it's very damaging to the brain and body, but there's a lot of symptoms: rage, depression, a lot of it's even linked to like suicidality and homicidality. So cholesterol, although we've demonized it, there's a very specific context to understand it, but it's not a bad thing. And so cholesterol is critical to convert sunlight to vitamin D. And again, low levels are linked to depression, memory issues, and aggressive behavior. Vitamin B12 plays an important role in production of serotonin, dopamine, melatonin, and deficiencies can contribute to mood swings, depression, and irritability. Other B vitamins, you could break down each one, but for the sake of brevity and how I might go about incorporating these nutrients, which are through the way of food, which, as I mentioned in the beginning, you can kind of go and see which foods are best to contain these or contain, significant amounts of them, the best to obtain them. Other B vitamins, just to generalize, also play critical roles in the production of serotonin, melatonin, and dopamine, help to regulate mood, sleep, and the feelings of pleasure. Bioavailable copper is critical for mitochondrial functioning, which plays an important role in all functions of the body and brain. And given that our mitochondria play a very significant role in our metabolism, and a lot of the newer understandings and ones that I would lean toward of mental health issues are metabolic disorders. With that understanding, anything we can do to optimize our mitochondrial functioning is critical to our mental health and much better approach than just medicating away symptoms. Omega-3 fatty acids shown to help fight depression, boost mood, help with concentration, lower inflammation. Very important. Glycine boosts memory, reduces stress and anxiety, improves mental clarity, aids in sleep and gut health. Gut health, very important for mental health. A lot of people are becoming more hip to that, but the mainstream doesn't necessarily go about trying to support it. Proline supports gut health, which supports mental health. There's probably more than that, but that's enough. And glycine and proline both can be found in food together, is what I was going to say. Theobromine, important for alertness and concentration, physical and mental energy, and boosts in mood. Choline, essential for health of brain and nervous system, supports cognition. And lastly, glutamine. L-glutamine plays a role in the production of GABA, which is our, essentially, you want all this stuff in balance, but GABA has a calming effect on the system. So that's all 17. A lot of the ones that we touched on were minerals. And I want to just say that minerals in general, which selenium, magnesium, like there's a whole host of minerals, 80 something, I believe. You can also supplement with trace minerals. That's not on the list of foods that I, in the guide that I suggest that you check out, but supplementing with trace minerals can be a good idea. But just thinking minerals in general, minerals are very important for, overall health, mitochondrial function, like we talked about, and play a lot of different roles in our mental health specifically. So just adding that minerals in general, I think, are an important part of the picture that don't get the attention they deserve. So that's all of them. I appreciate your time and attention. If you head on over to risingstronger.com and scroll down, there is a link, or there's a section there that you can download my free guide. It'll go through what I call the high mileage foods, that, the ones that are nutrient dense and contain these nutrients that are so important for reclaiming and optimizing our mental health. It also gives the list, as I mentioned before, of the foods that we want to try to avoid because they inhibit the absorption of these quality nutrients, because they break down our gut health, because they affect our blood sugar, because they create leaky, there's a whole host of things, but it's as important, in my opinion, to consider and take into account what we don't eat as what we do eat when it comes to trying to support better mental health. Lastly, I also have a link on my website for a free 30-minute coaching call. If you feel like you need support or direction, you're not really sure where to start, you feel like you may even need more extended support in lifestyle optimization and habits that can help to support better mental health, you can go there. There's a little questionnaire to kind of qualify if it's, worth us talking, give me some information. If we're not a right fit, I can maybe make some suggestions that'll be helpful to you, but there's no commitment there. It's just a conversation. So check that out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.